That was the one thought that drove me forward. But suddenly, oh shit. She appeared before us. A woman. It was a woman with a strange presence. If we'd been on one of Shibuya's typical crowded streets, I doubt I ever would have noticed her. But on this empty street, she was impossible to miss. Her long hair covered most of her face, and with the street light on her back, I couldn't read her expression at all. But I could see the strange, hungry light that shone from her eyes through the thick hair that otherwise concealed her features. It was a dark light, one that somehow brought a deeper blackness, not illumination.
Senpai.
Uma's voice was shaking. She'd realised how strange the woman was too. And then my eyes met hers. That next instant, she laughed, or so it seemed to me. Her laugh was empty, but at the same time, somehow satisfied. It was a laugh like evil itself, and it was like nothing I'd ever heard before in my life. And then, in a raspy, unpleasant voice, she spoke. Oh, Jesus. Alarm bells went off in my mind. My knees started to buckle. My instincts told me that she was dangerous. Uma was staring at the woman, not moving a muscle. No, she probably couldn't have moved even if she had wanted to. It was like we were paralyzed.
Senpai, あの人
Uma barely got the words out.
能力者です。
A psychic. I didn't want to admit it, but just looking at the woman in front of me was enough to dash all my hopes. This woman, her very existence was enough to make me believe.
Harimura.
なんですか
Hold my hand, we can defeat her with the power of love.
あの女の能力ってのはどんな
I didn't know about any of the Gigolomaniac's powers besides Umura's. But from what I had seen so far, some of them were a lot more dangerous than the ability to tell when someone was telling the truth. There had to be more types, for instance, ones that could be used as weapons. And there was no doubt in my mind that this woman had that sort of power.
こんなことならちゃんと調べておくべきだった。
It didn't matter whether I believed or not. How could I not have the information I needed at a time like this?
有村、
そんなの私にもわかりません。テレパシーなのか、プレコグニションなのか、クレアボヤンスなのか。ただ
Uma's eyes were fixed on a single point. She probably couldn't look
あの
away.
人の能力はもっと危険な、人に害を与える力だと。
Hypnosis? Mind control? Woman started walking sluggishly towards us. Slowly, slowly. I finally realised that the reason she seemed to be off balance as she was walking was that she was dragging one leg. Maybe she'd injure it, or maybe it had never worked right now. It worked right. She approached us one step at a time, as if enjoying our fear. She took another step. A horrible smile was frozen on her face. Her eyes were looking straight at us, as if she didn't want to let her prey escape. My body wouldn't move. My body had turned to stone as if it had been staring at Medusa. And then suddenly the wind blew. The woman's long hair flew up, and I could see just a little of her face. Momo gasped. The woman had been terribly burnt. Her face was covered in horrible burn scars. The smile disappeared from her face. Instead, it was replaced by rage. There was nothing there but burning rage and the colour of anger. She slowly brought her hands up, and then pushed them out towards us. Oh shit, Pyrokinisis! And we screamed and pulled at my hand as hard as she could. A pillar of flames sprung up right where I was standing. There was a blast of heat and that awful stink of burning asphalt. A burning pain ran through my cheek as the heat struck it. Yeah, I said pyrokinesis. She waved her arm, and the next moment the space in front of me was a sea of crimson flame. Momo and I tried our best to get away from the fire. I knew what it meant. I knew that it meant the ability to create fire. If I remembered right, it was a word created by a famous novelist. All over the world, there were historical records of unexplained fires breaking out for no clear reason. Spontaneous human combustion, where a human body would suddenly burst into flames, was one of those instances took. Of course, spontaneous human combustion was pseudoscience, as most scientists believe these incidences were actually caused by static electricity or EM waves, or rather falling asleep when you're having a smoke. And now real pyrokinesis was happening right in front of me. Next thing I knew, the woman was stretching her hands out towards me. I rolled on the ground with amber at almost the exact same moment as the fire exploded outward. The smell of burning hair stung my nostrils. Don't worry about your hair. We kept moving away, only barely dodging the burning flames. Pillar after pillar of fire appeared behind us. It looked like the flames had spread to a bike and some garbage that were lying on the roadside, but I didn't have time to check. The woman was getting closer, dragging her leg as she walked. I tried to grab her hand and run, but the fire appeared right in front of us, and as we tried to dodge it, we both lost our balance and fell to the ground. The planter next to us was on fire. I looked up at as the footsteps got closer and saw that the woman was right on top of us. Fire starter! That was what was going through my mind as I lay there, frozen in terror. This wasn't an anime or a movie, this was reality. The pain from where I'd hit my leg when I fell, the pain from the burns. All these flames, the smell of melted asphalt. It was all real. Priscilla had said that the Gigolomaniac's power came from delusions. And not just any delusions. These delusions affected the brains of others. And through being shared, they became reality.
物理現象すらねじ曲げるんだよ。ギガロマニアックスの妄想と、それによって共通認識化された現実は
Gigolomaniacs, right.
だからこそ、それはこの上なく危険なんだ。
Yes, so because of that, impossible pyrokinesis was happening right in front of me. And that power was going to kill me in Aramura. Delusional flames would become reality, and in that reality we were going to be burnt to death. Slowly putting her hands towards me. Is it a bad time to call you hot stuff? Maybe I was imagining it, but the air around me seemed to grow hotter. I don't want to die. I don't want to be roasted by death by these flames. No, I don't want to die. I still... A bigger spiral of flame than any we'd seen before appeared before us. But at the same time... Huh? Something strange appeared in the corner of my eye. Frighteningly sharp, but frighteningly fragile. Infinite and finite. Phantasmal and real. Like all the ugliness and beauty of the world had been compressed into one object. It was a die sword! It was clearly a different shape than Omura's, but still I could see it. But since I didn't know how to draw it, I just desperately struck the woman with every delusion I could muster. I imagined the sword slicing through her flames, and flung the image of her, at her with my imagination. Burning fangs that threatened to engulf the two of us exploded. Then the fire danced like a snake. It flew into a starlight line towards the woman who created it. Oh shit. Fire turned into a spiral that leapt at her. She fell over in shock. What's that? My power? I hadn't been looking, the dice sword had vanished from my vision. The room suddenly fell silent. I turned to see what she was looking at. As the air rippled from the smoke and the heat of the flames, the woman slowly stood up. I gasped at the colour of her eyes. The fire that had been there a moment ago was gone. The light that burned there with hatred was gone. There was only ice. Her eyes were ice, frozen, motionless and piercing. Romeo and I couldn't move. Slowly, slowly, with an unsteady rhythm, the woman approached us. And then stopped a few steps away. Smoke was rising off a garbage bin behind us. The panther by our side was making crackling noises from the heat. There was nowhere to run before us, behind us, or anywhere else. I couldn't even hear the bustle of the town, but the beating of my heart sounded even louder. The sound of my saliva running down my throat, the sound of my breathing, the sound of my blood flowing. All those sounds offered proof that I was still alive. But soon they would be gone. They would all disappear inside the burning flames.
やったぜ。
My legs shook. My eyes blurred with tears.
やめください。まだ死んだく。
I could barely speak, but the woman's expression didn't change, not even a little. And she raised her hand towards me. I closed my eyes. I was going to. Huh? Slowly opened my eyes, and then the woman was gone. Was I saved? All the strength drained from my body and I collapsed to the ground. I thought I was a goner. I thought she would kill me for sure. No, until a moment ago she was definitely going to kill me. I could tell from her eyes. They were cold, without a trace of doubt, uncertainty or hesitation. So why had she suddenly disappeared?
有村。
I looked up and saw that Omer was standing there, staring at the spot where the woman had disappeared.
先輩。
どうしたんだ有村。もしかしてまだ何か。
そうじゃないんです。ただ。
ただ。
怖くて動けない。
I can understand that.
ここ